Hello, happy horn players. It's Professor Frederick from the University of Memphis Horn Studio. And this week we are going to focus on something a little bit different in our Summer of Schantl. So it's week 4. And so far we've been working on those 3 or 4 T's. So the tone, the time, the intonation or tuning, articulation or tonguing is what we added last week. Now these T's come from my friend, mentor, and teacher Gail Williams. And so she also adds, after those fundamental T's, some C's. So we've got color, character, contrast, and I added confidence. So this week we're going to focus on contrast. So we're going to do the G major fifths, so a little bit wider interval. So we've got to keep our air going through to make those intervals nice and smooth and connected. We're also listening for the intonation of that fifth, making sure it's a nice, perfect in-tune fifth. But while we're doing that, we're going to add some contrast. What I want you to try this week with the fifths in G major, so this is etude number 8 in the G major section, is I want you to crescendo from as soft as you can to as loud as you can. Something I use to help gauge that crescendo is numbers. So I've put a 0 on that first phrase of 3 measures. The next phrase of 3 measures, I put a 1. All the way up to the last 3 measures, I put an 8. That way I've got a reference point and see how much I have to increase each time. Because we want it to be as even as possible, and we definitely want it to be as loud as possible at the end. So you make sure your air is fast and really creating a nice warm sound the entire time, but you're really going for fortissimo or even over fortissimo at those last 3 measures. So see what kind of contrast you can create this week in the G major fifths. Happy practicing, and we'll see you next week.